Live.
Okay.
Whatever I bet, I could change the odds for every bookmaker in the country.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar.
What up, everybody? The Gritty Gamblers are back. We got Matt, and we have a special guest tonight. We have Blain Crain. How you feeling, Blain?
Man, I'm feeling great. College football on the night, college football, NFL all weekend. Man, I am stoked. Hey, first of all, hey, that intro's dope, fellas.
Thank you. Yeah, GG on top, man. We ride with that intro, everything we do.
That's fun.
Comes the money. But we got college football this week. Tonight, we can go ahead and hit tonight. I'm seeing some sharps looking at Colorado State. The lines come down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to stay off of it. What do you guys think about tonight?
I also saw some sharps coming in on it this morning. Yeah. I'm probably going to stay off of it as well. The only thing I'm really betting tonight is going to be hockey. What do you think, Blaine, about tonight's games for college football?
Games a bet tonight when it comes to college football. Boston College, Syracuse. I mean, which team is going to show up? I kind of like the overs in each. What I usually do, if it's a questionable game when it comes to spread, I'm always going to bet for points, all right? Because at least I'll have fun while I'm betting. I'm not an under betting guy. I'll never be that guy. But a couple of good games. Colorado State's an interesting bet. Otherwise, I don't know who's playing tonight, but whoever's playing the Predators, I'm taking whoever's playing against them. So
yeah, Parlay and I have a running joke because last night one of the number one team on the top of we got a bunch of called poo-poo lists where teams we can't bet on. The number one team on the top of it is Seattle, and it's both ways, win or lose. I can't bet on them. And did you take that bet last night, Parlay?
I didn't touch it.
Okay, because Seattle went down to the Preds 1-0 and then proceeded to go and win that game.
Went up like 2-1, and I was sitting there watching it. I was like, yo, I'm never betting this team.
You can't bet Seattle. You can't bet
never
Seattle.
touching it.
Yeah, no. We did come up big last night. Shout out the Canucks, 10-1 victory. Canucks spread. They won 10-1. It was literally
1-1.
Let me ask. I'm talking this stat off the top of your head, but what's the most hockey goals scored in an NHL game?
Off the top of my head, I mean, I've seen was probably like something like that, but I think there's probably been up to like 11, 12, 13 goals. I remember
on a hockey team, you're basically winning 80-0 in a football game.
Literally.
Wait, I've never seen someone score 10 goals. I don't know how you can look at yourself as a professional hockey team after that game. As a coach, what do you say?
Let me make it worse. It was 10-0 before they got the first goal.
Oh, God. Get off the ice. Everyone get off the ice. You're all cut.
It was one of those conversations I was talking Parlay. They were playing they were playing the Sharks, and the Sharks are 0-10-1 on the season after that game. So the Sharks just can't buy a win this season. And they were playing the Sharks, and I told Parlay, I'm taking the Canucks plus spread plus money -1.5. I think it's a lock. The Canucks have been my money maker in the season so far. They're 7-2-1 on the season, so they've been doing pretty well. And I took the Canucks in that game, and we took the Coyotes too. We take our L's. So Coyotes didn't cover; they lost by 1, but the Canucks won 10-1 to make us finish positive 3 for 5 on the hockey night last night. So pretty good shot on that.
Not bad. Look, a dub's a dub.
Exactly. All right, so should we move into the Saturday slate for college football?
Yeah, might as well, right? We're out here calling upsets on Twitter, so we might as well move into it.
Oh, God. We'll get into it, and I'll try to jump the gun.
All right.
First one is probably the purple team out in the Midwest, Crossroads. We think the Big 12 is going to explode.
You think they're just going to eat each other up, huh?
They're going to eat each other up.
My exact words is the Big 12 fatal four-way. Because when you got Kansas State, you got Texas, you got Oklahoma, and you got Oklahoma State. They're all in one corner of the ring.
Yeah.
They're all pointed at each other. So someone's going down.
And this is the last time a couple of them get a point at each other. So, I mean, you're going to pull the trigger. If you're ever the time to pull the trigger, now's the time if you're Oklahoma State and if you're Kansas State.
Mm-hmm. The matchup in that Oklahoma State game is Ollie Gordon versus the rush defense of the Sooners.
Yeah.
If they're able to stop the run, they're going to stop Oklahoma State flat out.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're Oklahoma, I mean, first thing you're doing, from a defensive standpoint, I'm stacking the box, right? I mean, Bo's got to show me that he can beat me through the air. I mean, you go back to that last week against Texas. I mean, you gave up 225 yards on the ground, and it's not really 5.5 yards per carry, but it's not really what you gave up; it's how you gave it, right? This Oklahoma team's kind of throwback to they can't tackle. They can't tackle in space. They get their D line can't get them down, and if you let Jordan, let Ollie second level, you're done.
Done.
You've got a safety and corner in Oklahoma that can tackle that team. But I just don't think a Venables coach team is going to have that bad of performance. But I say that, and you go back to the UCF game, they didn't tackle worth a damn either in that game either. So, I mean, weird watching a team like Oklahoma get up for Texas and play so well, and then watch those type of performances those last couple of weeks. So, I mean, it's an iffy game, to be honest with you. I'm leaning Oklahoma in this game. I think Venables is going to have these guys ready. I think they're going to stack the box and make Bowen beat him with his arm, which I don't think he can do. I think it'll be close early. I think Oklahoma State will give them their best shot, but I think Oklahoma's too good. I don't think their quarterback's going to have that bad of a game. They're running. Walker's getting going. We're running the ball, and their receivers got to show up in this game.
Yeah, I'm watching this line like a hawk, especially the money. I'm waiting to see what happens. It's a game time decision for me.
Is this a live bet game?
A live bet? Probably not. Maybe
if it's a live bet game, you're catching a third quarter type live bet is what I'm saying. Like, you're not even going to bet it in the first half, most likely.
I agree with
unless Oklahoma goes up first, then I would. Well, you might be getting like plus 250, plus 300. Then
2 drives from each team first.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
2 drives from each team first. You kind of get a feel of what they're trying to do offensively, defensively, and then I like to make my live bets. So you kind of have the feel for the
once
game.
they get out those scripted plays immediately, right after that.
15, right? Obviously, you get to the first 15 scripted plays. Now you really trying to do what his weaknesses are when it comes to defenses. So I like to live bet this game. But if what's the over under at?
Let me pull up the exact over.
62.
62.
I like the under.
Right.
I just want money to back it, like a little bit more. It's 22-23.
Okay. And then to get into the other game, into the Big 12, I feel like that's the game I already bet on. I actually bought up a couple points and got K-State plus 6.5 in a parlay, just because I don't know if they're going to go win that game, but Texas has had their number for the past couple of years. I feel like they're going to be prepared for that game. I think they've won the past 2 games like 81 or 84-3 or something crazy like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're ready to show up in Austin on Saturday.
Well, you got to look at Texas. You got Malik Murphy having his second starting BYU. I thought he threw the ball a lot better than I expected. Think about it. Texas defense is pretty damn good. And the one thing about Kansas State, they're coming off the best 2 last couple of weeks. Will Howard's a great piece at quarterback. He's playing some of his best ball right now, but I don't think their defense is as good as people live it up to. I think Texas is going to be able to control the line of scrimmage, and that's how you beat a Kansas State team. So I'm leading Texas in this game, and I'll probably think Texas covers, to be honest. What's it at right now? 4.5? 4?
I think it's like 4.5. Some places have it at 3.5.
3.5 now.
I was about to say some places have it at 3.5.
Just went down to 3.5.
Woo.
It keeps going down.
People are pounding that Kansas State cover line.
I love the money line, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I love it.
Kansas State money line on the road in Austin.
The only reason I would like that is because
they've been blowing teams out.
I mean, if Texas loses that game, here's the honest truth:
41-3.
Well, this ain't Houston. They're about to.
I mean, they blew out TCU too.
TCU, who they're about to play.
TCU's not that good though.
Looking forward on it. If Texas loses this game, the Big 12 is done when it comes to the playoff, in my personal opinion.
You don't think if one loss Big 12 champion is not going to get in?
If it's Oklahoma, probably not, because I think Alabama's looking really good this year, and I think Alabama's going to make a push. Now, if it all comes down to what they do versus Georgia, if they get past LSU to say, which is another game we'll get into in a little later, but Alabama's peaking at the right time. Georgia's peaking at the right time. There's a lot of these SEC schools, and honestly, I think Ohio State's in a better position to get in, especially in that situation with their resume. The way the playoff is, it's long-term thinking, but the way the playoff has been broke down, you're putting the top 2 Big 12 teams in 7 and 9, there, and you have 2 Pac-12 teams ahead of them. You're really leaving them out of the driver's seat to where they don't really, unless one of them completely wins out and looks dominant doing it, I don't think they're going to get in.
So you think? Let me ask you this: you think a 1-loss Ohio State team will get in over a Big 12 1-loss champion?
There's a chance, especially if they play Michigan really tight. really tight in Ann Arbor. Yeah,
But
I mean,
Ohio State in anyways. You saw what Ohio State last year did with Georgia. I mean,
they made the committee look good with that decision.
Well, the committee, no one knows what the committee really does. I don't think the committee knows what they're doing. Like their formula for putting together these rankings make no sense. They just contradict each other throughout. Like, okay, you put Ohio State first. You did that because of strength of schedule. Then why didn't Florida State second?
Yeah, exactly.
So it just the criteria doesn't make sense to me. So who knows? It's just basically a drama show they do just to piss people off.
Which is true.
I just don't care. I'm gonna follow Kirk Herbstreit and just say, fuck the rankings until December. If my team, if Bama wins out, they win out. If not, Jaden Daniels.
If Bama wins out, they're getting in. I'm gonna be honest with you.
100%. They ain't gonna leave out with one fucking.
And
a
that's
one-loss
all
SEC
that's
champion.
all I gotta wish for is to win out.
Like, this is where Georgia's schedule comes into play, and how much does the past matter, right? And like what they're doing, they lose one game in the SEC championship, close. Let me ask you this: does a one-loss Georgia non-champion get in, or a one-loss Ohio State non-champion?
I think Georgia, because of the back half of their schedule, might get a thing. What do you think?
But how many losses did Bama have in 2013? They lost to Auburn and they lost to.
No, they didn't have two.
They didn't have two. I feel like
2013.
Well, the only 2-loss team in the nation has a shot to get in, and it's like a handkerchief. Yeah, it's LSU. It's a handkerchief chance. If they have to win this week.
Like, there's too many.
We were a 1-loss team.
Yeah, 1-loss team, exactly.
Yeah. I just don't see any 2-loss team making it into the playoff. Like, I just don't. There's too many.
Well, the committee doesn't like the SEC. That's why they only have like one SEC person in it for 2 years in a row.
They have to respect it.
Yeah.
They have like non-Power 5 people in there who don't even deserve to be there.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, look. I mean, TCU came in there. I know it's not. I mean, a lot of questions about TCU. You remember TCU? Kansas State beat them in the championship.
Yeah.
Right?
And then got blown out by Bama.
I don't see LSU getting in this year.
No, LSU this year, I don't think.
If LSU wins out, beats Bama, and beats Georgia or whoever in the SEC championship, does that LSU rematch Florida State?
No, I don't think LSU gets in. Obviously, we're going to have to look around the nation and what it looks like. But I just don't think – I don't see a 2-loss team getting in. I mean, you can't lose. Like, you can't lose. Who did LSU lose to? Florida State and lost to Ole Miss? Yeah.
And they gave up 55.
Yeah, Ole Miss. Yeah, Ole Miss. We were on that.
LSU, I don't think any 2-loss team this year is going to get into the playoff because there's going to be so many damn 1-loss teams, I think.
Yeah, especially when you're going to look at probably Washington might only have 1 loss, and Oregon, especially if Oregon wins the Pac-12 and Washington's only loss is to Oregon, a lot of these teams won't have a shot because the Pac-12 are killing each other.
Yeah, I mean, what a great –
Washington's going to lose this week.
What'd you say?
Washington is losing this weekend.
No, USC's trash.
USC, bounce back week for USC. I'm the number one USC hater. I'm right.
Washington -3 is free, in my opinion.
No way.
Who's they stopping Penix? Who's stopping Penix?
His injury?
His injury history. Come on now.
2.5. Take UW -2.5 or you're allergic to money. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Come on now. It's free money.
I love USC.
You love USC every week, except for the Notre Dame week. I'll give you credit.
Except for Notre Dame.
Just Washington hasn't been playing great football the last couple of weeks. I think Penix has had the flu. But the thing about it is, like, Washington, red zone-wise, they're a pretty damn good defense when it comes to the red zone of giving up threes. And USC's not a great red zone team when it comes in the green, getting the money, getting the bag for 6. They're not that good. Which is surprising, I know, but USC's a big play hitting team. That's how they score their points. So the red zone will be a little bit different. I mean, over under 75.
I mean, watching that Cal game, it gave me a reason why. I had Cal +10 last week, and it was pretty free.
My favorite saying: every week's different. Every week's different. College football.
Like it's always the same.
Not this week.
Every
He's saying not this week.
Oh, they got Bear Alexander in the portal. They got this guy. They got that guy. And Alex Grinch never ceases to amaze me to put out that shit defense every year. He must have pictures of somebody.
He was benching his linebackers halfway through the half last week.
It's bad. It's bad. I don't know how Lincoln Riley, he has to have pictures of something.
You good, Parlay?
Riley stinks. I will be Lincoln. Wait, Lincoln Riley.
There he is.
So we can discuss.
You good, Parlay? You cut out for a second.
But I said Lincoln Riley's going to the NFL.
Ooh,
Raiders.
Ooh.
Yeah, Raiders. Yeah, Raiders. With Penix.
Penix.
I mean, not Penix. Fucking Caleb Williams. You guys got me all over Penix right now.
Raiders.
Raiders
Who's going number one then? Who's going number one?
Raiders are gonna have number one. They stink.
I don't know about that. Come on now.
Have number one.
They lose out.
You don't
Hey,
think
they can
Pierce?
trade up,
Man, I
too.
think that man Pierce is going to be able to get a couple wins off his personality alone. At least 2
They
wins
can
off
trade up,
personality
too.
strength alone. Did you see that
Bro.
press conference? Dan
Yeah.
Campbell light, man. Dan Campbell light.
He copied Jack Black in School of Rock. Okay,
It does not make it not funny.
I have touched these kids, and these kids have touched me.
It does not make it
He
not
copied
funny.
Jack Black.
It does not make it not funny. They're coming. Hey, the Raiders are coming, man. I expect Devontae Adams to 100 yards, 2 touchdowns this week.
They'll win one game, and that'll be the first one.
It's going to be this week.
It'll be just like just Saturday.
The Ravens for a second-round pick.
They said they tried to trade Josh Jacobs to the Ravens for a second-round pick.
And the Ravens said, nah.
Oh, I mean, did you hear how Josh McDaniels got fired? Right? They had a dinner between Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, and Mark Davis, and then on the recommendation of the 2 captains of the team, Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs.
I love it.
Yeah, he's all like, cut him.
Matters more. Let's be
Bro,
Devontae Adams' happiness.
a big game. Monte Adams and Josh Jacobs. McDaniels couldn't pack his bags quick enough.
Yo, I tweeted out how quick does he go to New England, and they said how long does it take to get to New England from?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Belichick's gone from New England in a couple of years if Vrabel's up there. I wouldn't be surprised.
You think
Dude, I've been hearing some Titans fans on Spaces talking crazy, like they want to fire Vrabel.
And if you guys make the mistake, and he goes up to New England, another 15 years. Another 15
like
years.
Vrabel so much?
Because of I'll let you go. Go.
I go against him twice a year, and I know what he does. He's good. And hey, we need a defensive coordinator, the Colts. Hey, send him our way. Come on.
No, he's not going to be a DC. If he gets fired, he'll be another head coach immediately.
Yeah.
Like
He's not gonna. I don't think.
I like Vrabel just because of what he's able to do in terms of leadership, in terms of his players. Like Tennessee, it's almost like Mike Tomlin light. He's put in situations the past couple of years where they should not be winning. Yet he got the 1 seed a couple of years ago. He went to the AFC Championship a couple of years before that. Like they've had good teams. Don't get me wrong, but like he's definitely out coaching his weight in some of these games.
Well, the best thing that happened, the one thing about Vrabel that gets me, man, is it seems like his players are always so. Right, they're so beat up throughout the season. I don't know. Look, I met Mike a couple times. I think he's a great guy. I think he's a great coach. The best thing that happened to Vrabel is that Will Levis looked the way he is.
Yeah.
Best thing that happened to Mike Vrabel, he has to be just cheering from a mountain every time Will Levis goes out there. So I think Mike, with the way Will Levis looks, you found your guy, and they're going to build off that guy. And he just got you can see his team takes on his personality, right? Because Mike's a no fuck around type of guy.
Exactly.
Like he didn't play that bullshit. Either you're with it, either you got it, or you don't. And his defense plays gritty.
Defense is scary, bro.
Look, I love it. I understand it. Like I don't see the Titans firing him though.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't either.
If they
I
make the
think-
mistake, is what I'm saying. If they make the
They
mistake,
will. I mean, they're known for making mistakes. Like trust me. I mean, they will.
Yeah, they're known for being.
I
awful.
Derrick Henry back there, and you at least not have a Super Bowl appearance blows my mind.
There's exactly. I was just about to say they have no rings because they're a trash ran organization.
Look, I'm in
I
Nashville.
swear.
I can't say too much. People come and get me.
But
I'm not a huge.
I'm a Colts fan. I'm a Colts
they'll
fan.
see his hat. They'll know he's biased. They'll see his hat. They'll know he's biased.
Hey, Anthony Richardson, what do you think?
I think he's great. I think he's gonna be one of the best players. I'm excited. I got like
You gotta stay healthy.
He's got to stay healthy. We got to we need to work on a defense. 2, we need to make this dude learn how to not. I don't want to like tell him not to run, but
You gotta
just
learn how
tell
not
him to slide. Like
Yeah.
teach him, like take him to a baseball coach and just like be like, all right, you're gonna spend one Saturday here. Everyone's done this who's played baseball. You're gonna run around the bases and learn how to slide.
Yeah. Well, like
It's not that hard.
And I think a good thing, like you go look at Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
You watch Jalen Hurts play, you rarely see him ever get squared up, right? If Anthony Richardson
100%.
runs, same thing with Lamar Jackson. Lamar's a lot more shifty than Anthony, but if Anthony learns how not to get squared up, man, he's gonna have a long, great career in it.
Yeah, that's really it. But I'm excited for what he's got. I'm a little disappointed that I don't get to see him or Josh Downs this weekend since they're coming to Charlotte. I mean,
Is Josh Downs not playing?
He's not playing.
I thought he was questionable.
I saw he's not playing.
Damn, I got him in fantasy in the league. Got to take him out.
I saw he's not playing, so I'm not happy about that. But I mean, maybe, but nah. I'm still upset that we didn't trade people, man. God darn.
I mean, my people got off. I mean, I'm a Commanders fan, so the trade deadline was rough.
Hey, but let me ask y'all. I was listening to Crain and Co. Yesterday. I like what Jake said. I was trying to get in, but I couldn't get in. I love Clemson this week. I love Clemson.
Really? Explain this to me. Explain this to me.
Love Clemson.
Explain this to me.
Cause, dude, Notre Dame. All right, one, I had them over 8.5, so I have to hedge this any way possible.
All right, that makes sense.
That's all I know. Okay.
Dude, I love the money. Like, look, like, oh my goodness. But I mean, I'll take the 3.5. I'm gonna add a point to get the half, but I mean, I want to see if they get the money. Oh man.
Well, I need reasoning why you think Clemson's going. This is what I need.
I mean, there's not much, but I mean, they need a win. Dabo needs a win. But Notre Dame's done. 2 losses out.
Clemson has 4.
Oh, but
4, you're like, I need one.
They're not making a bowl game this year, probably. Clemson.
That's when you get to that level where you're like,
I think Wake Forest by 5.
Come on now.
Hey, it's a different week.
Duke beat them by 3 with a 3rd-string quarterback.
Dude, I get it. The styles somewhat match up, but like the difference to me, you're not great when it comes to skill position wise. Will Shipley's a good back. Estimate's a good back, obviously. Up front, you look at Notre Dame. Joe Alt's going to be a top 10 pick. I mean, I think Notre Dame's defense is getting better. Clemson's defense is always good. But the difference in a game like this is Sam Hartman. And Notre Dame, that's why you brought him in, right? That's the difference in games like this. And Sam's playing some of his best ball right now. And Cade Klubnik is about as good as I am. And I tore my IQ.
The man's is not good.
He hasn't performed up to par. I would say that
he's played himself out of the first round in 2025.
I had a future on him, but it did not work out.
He played himself out of the first round of 2025 right now.
I saw that week 1 when I took Duke.
Right now, 2025, you're looking at Carson Beck, Shedeur, and maybe Alar if he can play himself right.
Yeah,
I think it's Shedeur and Travis Hunter.
Well, I'm talking about just quarterback wise. If you're looking at quarterbacks, you're looking at Carson Beck.
I think they might give it to Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter's going to be going to lead.
He's all over the field.
Travis Hunter's a corner. That's what Travis Hunter.
Yes, yeah.
But he's a wide receiver too.
No, in the NFL, he's going to be a corner.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. But I heard him say that they're like some scouts said that he could be a better wide receiver, so they're trying to get film. But hey, get it early. Don't wait till a senior year when you're trying to go for a damn championship like Will Anderson and start throwing him back and not blitzing him.
Yeah. I mean, same thing with Perkins from LSU. If I have to watch Perkins drop back, I'm going to throw up.
He's
honestly, speaking of LSU, before we get into the let's get into some SEC. But first, let me start with what you guys think of A&M versus Ole Miss this Saturday.
Sneaky football game, man. Jimbo Fisher needs this one. He needs this one bad.
Yeah, right? I was in a space and they were saying that it's Ole Miss needs it. I'm like, why does Ole Miss need a win?
Well, Ole Miss needs to get to 10 wins because they seem to never be able to do that. And you go kind of look at Lane Kiffin's career at Ole Miss. The second half of their schedule, they fall apart like Post Malone.
Yeah, and he said at the SEC media day that they weren't going to fall apart after losing to Bama. They haven't yet.
No, well, I think they're a better football team this year.
Way better. Duckins is older.
Yeah.
And so is what's his name? The eye black dude.
Yeah, Jackson Dart.
I did sprinkle on the A&M plus 4.5. I can't lie.
What is going to come down to this game is who can run the ball better. A lot of people don't understand this with Lane Kiffin. They think, he just wants to air it out. Lane wants to run it. That's what Lane wants to do. And you see the front seven for Texas A&M, not a joke. I think South Carolina had a little bit more success than I thought they would. Didn't really show it in the stats because Spencer Rattler got sacked for minus 40 yards. But, man, it's going to be a good game. I think Ole Miss pulls it out. I think they're too talented.
By a field goal?
Is that what the spread is right now?
3 points.
Yeah.
3 points at home for Ole Miss.
Yeah,
I was going to do 3.5.
I'm probably with Ole Miss.
All right, another game. I know you guys are going to say I'm crazy on this one. All right.
Look, I already said Clemson's going to win, but continue, please.
This team's worse than Clemson.
Oh, boy.
2-6. Going to the swamp.
You talking about Arkansas?
I love the Razorbacks here.
Dude, this game's getting bet down a lot. Well, you know who's coming back for this game, right?
No.
Rocket Sanders.
Back? Like he's actually back?
I think he's back. Men in black. Like, he's back. Like, so
it makes sense why it's getting bet down so much.
Like, we're talking about another guy who needs it bad. Sam needs it bad. Look, I think even if he wins this game, I think he's gone by the end of the year because his buyout drops a lot by the end of the year. But, this feels like a game Florida loses, right?
I think so. I love it. Honestly, I absolutely love it.
I feel like Billy Napier's in gotta have it mode too, just because if they want to have a bowl game this year, they got to win this game.
I bet it 3 times on here.
Jeez.
I have plus 165, plus 142, and 5.5.
So what happens when Florida wins in the swamp on Saturday?
Well, this is all action, so it doesn't. Okay. This is
at halftime. Don't worry.
This doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can flip it on this at halftime, so that's the funny part. I can delete on this.
You can delete bets?
Yeah, but it's not a real app. It's not.
Oh, it's showing his accuracy.
This is my action app. So.
I'm like, give me your book right now. Give me your book. I want it.
No. My book, you don't want my book. Trust me, you don't want my book.
Hey, I'm personally just rocking with the FanDuel. Shout out to FanDuel.
Hey,
look, if you don't pay, they show up with Tommy guns.
Look, I'm gonna be honest here, all right? And look, DraftKings sponsors the show. We love DraftKings. My DraftKings is messed up, man. It just hadn't got fixed. Look, I won 12 grand like last
and they
week.
stopped you, didn't they? My buddy did that shit, and they're like, "You got to be a VIP or whatever."
No, they stopped me.
They didn't stop
FanDuel don't care. FanDuel don't care when you
grand. Like he won like 30, 40 grand, I think, because he's like went and bought a car. Like I don't know what he did.
Stop him from getting his money. Like what?
They did.
The only thing they can stop you is how much you can put in.
They said we'll give you like $11,000 of free bets if you just do this, and we can get all your information and like where you work at and all this shit. He's like, I don't work anywhere anymore. I'm a student.
I'd be like, either you give me my money or I show up to you with nothing but guys with briefcases, and then we find out.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I told him to watch out because like they do that shit. I've heard it happen before, but
I've never heard of that.
I don't know if I don't think it was DraftKings though. I think it was.
Well, if it's a lesser book, then I understand. But if it's a main like FanDuel,
I think it was Caesars.
Okay, yeah, I don't bet with them. I don't trust them.
The only time I bet in Caesars, I think I did it once, was when I was actually in Las Vegas.
Yeah, so I was in Vegas actually.
Yeah, that's why I was telling him don't bet with that but he didn't.
Because they just give you cash when you're in Vegas at a certain point. Yeah.
Like, I don't know, last week or a couple weeks ago for the Power Slap stuff, man, I was actually sat down in the sports book. It was great, dude.
I want to go bad. I want to
the first time I've done it. I don't know why they're not here. Like,
literally.
They should be everywhere, even if you can't gamble.
Like, I got to drive to West Virginia or Maryland just to go to one.
Yeah, I think they do that in like Indiana. Like you can't gamble unless you go to like a one casino, and then you can gamble at that casino.
Well, Indiana has weird rules. You can't buy cold beer at the gas station. I went there last year for the first time, and I was trying to drink the night before. I was like, yo, and then there was
Where'd
like,
you go? Was it like a Sunday morning thing?
no, it was Saturday night.
Look,
At like
it's
8:00. I was like,
here.
I had to buy like 4 tall boys in the little plastic thing. So of course they fell apart on the scooter. Then I had some dude chase me down asking to use my phone. I was like, look, bro, leave me alone. Here's the beer. He's like, I don't want that shit. You dropping it. I was like, it's warm.
Went extremely wrong.
You have to go to a liquor store to buy cold beer.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's absurd.
Fuck that.
But yeah, so that's actually no. Let's finish the SEC. So looking at it, LSU, Alabama. Let's get into it. I'm just gonna say, what are your guys' thoughts?
Okay, I guess I'll go ahead. We do our Saturday pick with our guest pickers coming out in the morning. Man, you look at this Alabama team, right? I mean, Milroe's coming along. He's playing some of his best football. One of the best front sevens in college football. Their offensive line hasn't been great. You see Big Game Burton coming along, Isaiah Bond coming along, and Milroe looks comfortable in the pocket. And all saying that's good and great, but I tell you one damn thing: I'm still don't believe anybody in this country can stop Jaden Daniels. I don't think they can. I think you have Malik Neighbors, who's an NFL receiver. You have one of the best offensive line in the country. Your defense is atrocious. I know that, but you played some of your best ball the last couple of weeks. And a lot of this game's going to come down to who can. It's in the red zone. That's what it's going to be. Who can score 7 and who can hold teams to field goals. Fellas, I like LSU in this game. I really do.
Unless the line moves back up. But my thing is I really wouldn't bet the money line because it's like what plus 130. So you're not getting much value there. So I would just take plus 550. Jaden Daniels to win the Heisman.
So I wonder what the odds are alternate spread if you bet at minus 2.5 LSU.
Probably like 200 at most.
I think it'd be more than that.
Nah, they're not trying to give you that money.
I can double check it.
Yeah, tell me what the odds are in that game. I bet LSU maybe to minus. It's going to be a field goal game in my opinion. These games are always tight between these two. But I like LSU. I just think LSU's like Alabama can't afford to come out and play bad for a half, right? And that's what they've been doing against Tennessee, against Arkansas. Like
that's Tommy Rees football. One half of football.
They haven't played a complete game, and if you do that against this LSU team, this offense is going to. They're going to score on them. And if Bama's penalized like they've been the entire year, and this game just smells like it.
LSU minus 2.5 plus 164.
Oh, ugh.
Yeah, totally. They know that's going to happen, so they're not going to give it to you.
Damn, you played up to 6.5. What? Oh God!
Probably getting 200 then.
If it's 6.5 and 200, I'm just going to fight whoever's.
I'll tell you this: minus 5.5 for LSU is at plus 250.
There you go. That's not bad.
Okay. What do y'all think? Your thoughts?
Bama's coming through there, in my opinion. It's at home. I really think it's a 3-point spread. I think you can bet Bama through minus 3 easily if you want to get the hook off, get the 2.5. But I think when it comes down to it, we have kind of seen Jaden Daniels kind of get stopped before, and it was a second half versus FSU. I know it's early in the season. But it's stuff that's on tape. It's stuff that's on film.
I mean, God, he threw for 350 plus and had 78 yards rushing in that game.
But their thing is like they game plan like totally wrong for that game. Like they game plan for what Florida State did wrong the year before.
The worry for LSU and what FSU did that second half is they just ran it down your throat.
They didn't let Jaden Daniels get the ball.
Yeah, they ran it down your throat. And if Alabama wins the time of possession, right, if they almost double LSU in time of possession and control the line of scrimmage, if they can get to Jaden Daniels, not even get to him, but get him on the ground and get the line of scrimmage on offense, then you have to like Alabama in this game. But I haven't seen anybody be able to do that to Jaden Daniels now. Like,
and I'll say this.
Moments, right? Had some moments, but it is week 1. The line's gotten better, and they've kind of been more cohesive as an offense. So we'll see, man. It's a pick-em game, in my opinion.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels, I don't know. Like, I just feel Alabama in this game, they have them circled from last year. remembering what happened. I remember I read the reports. They're saying all we do when we were working out in the off season and we got tired and we couldn't do it anymore is we thought Tennessee and LSU.
Yeah, that shit not be all over the locker room all week, man.
And they got them at home. If they lock the doors in on them.
Yeah. Look,
Saban don't lose twice in a row. What was that, Blain?
I just hope it's a true LSU Alabama game. That's what I remember the day. So I used to be scared to watch this game from just the violence and physicality that used to go on. I hope there's some pads popping. That's what I hope.
I like the under but I'm gonna wait.
Okay.
Just to see if I can get. Well, we got it, so I'm actually gonna go with the under.
Okay, it must have just happened.
Okay.
So I like it. I think it opened at 63. It's at 61.5 now. No, it opened at 60 and went up to 61.5. But I mean, I still like it. I mean, LSU got the money too right now, but I see somebody's pushing hard to get Alabama the money.
I wouldn't be surprised. There's gonna be a lot of money flying around this game,
especially late night tonight.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so moving to another SEC battle in the SEC East, we have Georgia and Missouri. Another tight match. Well, not necessarily tight, but revenge matchup. I feel like because Georgia's definitely circling Missouri from last year. What happened to them when they were in Columbia? What's your guys' thoughts on this game?
Georgia big.
Yeah, it kind of sucks because I'm a big drink fan, and if you're a Missouri fan, you gotta love what right now. You're walking into the game. I like their running backs. Georgia's not a team you mess around with. Georgia, game matters. Right, they're going to show up, and I think Kirby's got these guys going. Is Brock Bowers out? Yeah, but I mean, you have Oscar Delp, who's a 5-star, who made a one-handed catch. He's an absolute stud. Lad McConkey, aka Haru, he's finally looking healthy. And just Rose Mary Jack Saint looks good. Rah looks good. And I mean, Carson Beck has all the time in the world. That's what I worry about when it comes to Missouri. I just don't see Carson Beck. Later, it's like Honda with Georgia, man. They're just I like Georgia. I like Georgia to cover in this game.
I agree. I definitely think Georgia covers unless something happens late.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you guys. It might honestly be a game, depending on what the line is on it, to maybe potentially look into the over. Georgia might potentially look to just put the points up on them, especially because Carson Beck's been looking really well the past couple of weeks in terms of him spreading the ball around to all his different receivers, whether it's Lovett, Rah, like you were saying, Rosemary Saint. Like, they got all the assets on terms of outside weapons, and they have the Titans, Oscar Depp, Lawson Lucky, like – every position's kind of covered on the offensive side of the ball.
Be able to get Brady. Missouri's not going to be able to get
Yeah. All right, so that's pretty much most of the key SEC games. To move into it, we covered the Big 12 mostly, the SEC. Let's look into kind of just a shout out. What do we think about Florida State in their game versus Pitt? Do we think they're going to cover that 21-point spread?
Half beating of a lifetime.
Yeah.
58-7 by Notre Dame. Good luck against Jordan Travis. Good luck. Back doesn't matter. Keon Coleman, top 10 pick. I mean, their defense is good, not great, but Pittsburgh stinks.
Yeah. Pittsburgh, I mean, they got rolled by Notre Dame, like you said.
I'm kind of done betting on betting against Florida State, honestly.
I rode them the entire year. Florida State and Michigan is wagons.
I have Florida State national championships. So I try to hedge everywhere.
The winner?
Yeah, plus 1,800. From a long time ago.
That's a good
I got a couple other teams too. I got a couple teams.
I love it.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty much the only ACC game I'm going to mention because the rest of them, I'm like, it's Louisville's going to win probably versus Tech. I'm a Virginia. I live in Virginia. I know Tech's this top 3 in the ACC. Doesn't mean anything. The ACC is terrible this year.
Playing well, though.
They're playing well, but if you look at how their season started, it's bad. It's bad. Yeah. So to pull up the Big Ten now, because we haven't really got into the Big Ten, there's a couple teams kind of on upset alert in the Big Ten. I mean, people are kind of circling. I mean, I don't know why, but people are circling that Penn State Maryland game. The line's dropping on it. It came down like 2-3 points early in the week. It was at plus 10, plus 11. Now it's at plus 8. So I think people are
baby.
Lil
Little
Tua, as I
Tua.
call him, Lil Tua.
Look, I'll say this as a guy who picked Ohio State against Penn State. Penn State they look fraudulent, right? I mean, Chop
They did.
they got
We
hurt.
both had Ohio State too.
Drew Aller, I think it's more about their offensive scheme than it is about Drew Aller. I think Drew Aller is going to be a good football player, but I think James Franklin is like when you used to play NCAA football and you go to that short pass,
Yeah.
that higher play, right? You saw him try. Like Indiana, they almost blew it. Indiana should have won that football game, but it's just weird. But the thing about this game that freaks me out is Maryland's great on offense. Little Two is great. They got a couple NFL receivers, but can their front seven hold up against Penn State?
Yeah.
Possession. Little Two is known to make throw turnovers, bad turnovers. If they control the time of possession in Penn State, and their defense is good now. Like, look, they got NFL guys running around that defense. So, I mean, we'll see. To be honest with you, it keeps betting down. I'm going to take Penn State.
Yeah, it's already came down to single digits. What do you think, Parlay?
Talia. Hello. He likes that. I live in Hawaii, so I can say most names. But I will say another Big Ten matchup I like. Speaking of Indiana at home versus Wisconsin, who can barely cover anything.
What's the under? Take it.
The under.
Doesn't matter. The under's going to hit.
Is that like 44.5 around there?
45.5.
The fours, I don't even have to look at it. Watch the game.
They really think Indiana's going to put up points or something. That's with that line.
I don't know. Like, look, the only reason they scored on Penn State because one, Penn State blitzed the corner and the safety and left the receiver wide open,
like twice.
And then they had a busted play that they scored on where the DB got his eyes caught in the backfield and no boy just ran by him. So I don't think this is going to be a game of they're going to run the ball 95% of it. This game will be over in 30 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I think Wisconsin has a decent shot. I mean, you're still looking at a 2-6 Indiana. It's going to come down to probably
2-6 might be a trend this week. I might bet every 2-6 team this week.
So you bet in South Carolina?
Jackson, I like South Carolina, honestly. I was just looking at that game.
16 points. You're going to lay 16 points with Jacksonville State? Rich Rod coming to town?
Look, dude, you never know. Jack State's not going to mess around.
I'm probably not betting against them. I've already learned
Tuesday night Titans, man. Come on now.
Offensive line.
I learned that first Tuesday. I'm not betting against them.
But one thing I wanted to give a shout to back to the Big Ten, I'm really liking Nebraska versus Michigan State. I bought it down a point to -2.5. I really think that Nebraska, especially they're running a little option. They're playing for Matt Rule so hard. Matt Rule is coaching his tail off. I think they'll be able to win that game.
I like Nebraska in that game too. That game, another game like it's Ohio State, Rutgers, 1.5. And look, I know Rutgers is like 6-2. Knows one who knows that Rutgers football game, but Ohio State's performance in Wisconsin last wasn't good enough, and I think Ryan Day knows that. I think they're going to jump the game. The games like this, once Ohio State gets up, Rutgers not a team that's built to come back, right? They're going to sit on the ball. Rutgers is going to play a game of how quick can we get out of here. I think Ohio State's going to run it up on them. So 18.5, I love that spread.
What you think about that parlay?
I'm watching it because Rutgers are like 5-1 against the spread, or let me look. Yeah, 6-1-1 against the spread.
But that one team, they're really good at covering unless they play the big dogs, right? That one team they didn't cover against was Michigan.
They covered 24.5. It was 24.5.
Barely covered
24. Yeah.
Yeah.
That might have been a push. It might have been their push.
We might have bought it up.
We might have bought it up, but I think the line was 24.
Dude, I bet that Rutgers game, and I had Michigan and hit. What did I get it at? What was the final? 31-7?
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have bet it down.
Yeah, 31-7.
Because I think I grabbed it either early or because I got the straight line on it. I don't think I bought a point on that game.
24 pushed.
Yeah, because I had 24.5. Yeah.
I had 24.5. I remember.
Okay.
Speaking of Michigan, what do we think about this Purdue game?
Kill them. They're gonna murder them. 32.5. Look, I've been rolling with Michigan the entire year. All right. especially with all this scandal and stuff. Right.
They're scandalous over there.
Is Michigan beats them by 80 or Purdue wins?
No in between.
No in between. There's going to be no in between. That's going to be it. This ain't going to be a 13-point game. All right. I like 32.5. Give me that's one of my locks. Ohio State and Michigan are my locks for this week.
Okay.
I mean, it's $5 to win 100 on Purdue money line.
They said they had to change their signs.
Yeah, I know. We'll see.
Also, you said 13 points. Yeah, I think that's to be the amount of points total scored in Iowa versus Northwestern. Book it.
Yes. What is this? The lowest over under ever?
I think it was like 29. It's 30. It's 30. Yeah.
30.
No way.
Yeah.
And I'm betting the under.
Two Cooper punt return touchdown 7-0.
Son. So funny.
I can't wait not to watch this game.
Yeah, no.
I'm not watching it. I'm not.
That's a check the ESPN stat line after the
watch paint dry.
Literally.
All right, but I think let's get into the Pac-12. Forgot about the Pac-12. Let's get into the Pac-12. Main spot, we already covered Washington, USC. I did want to get into UCLA versus Arizona. It's a really good game. Pac-12 After Dark. It's actually on FS1, so they put it on the big channel for them.
Yeah.
UCLA only getting 2 points on the road is kind of sketch.
Dude, Arizona is just they've been playing above their head the entire year, man. I mean, you look at losses. I mean, overtime versus Mississippi State, overtime versus USC. You lost to Washington by 1 touchdown. These guys are on the brink of having a phenomenal season. Their head coach ain't going to be there after this year. He's gone somewhere. Trust me, someone's going to come get him. But, man, the thing about this game is UCLA can just control the line of scrimmage. And I think that's going to be the difference. UCLA's defense is pretty damn good. I think he'll on the ball. Like, what's his Gabbers? Is that his name, their quarterback?
Ethan Garbers or whatever, something like that.
Garbers. I think he plays well. I think the difference isn't a finesse team, though. This isn't you're not about to finesse your way through UCLA. So give me UCLA in the points.
I think this is a perfect spot to buy up to 3, maybe 3.5, and take Arizona because
it's gonna be close.
I've taken Arizona almost every game this year. I love Arizona. I love Arizona State. It's the rising sun parlay every week, but I love them. I
like it. Look, I don't think you're going wrong with it. Yeah, that's a good bet.
7-1. Oh my goodness, it's crazy, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna bet the game, but the one thing I do say about Arizona, especially Arizona this season, is that's where teams have gone to die.
Yeah.
So Washington State, we're looking at you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's mostly what I think we should cover for college football. Did you have any other games parlay that you wanted to look at?
Georgia State.
Georgia State. Okay, what are you thinking about that game?
State has
JMU.
JMU. JMU's lagging all year.
I guess they might cover, but you better not touch their money line. There's no chance.
Yeah, this game.
There's a chance this week.
They might cover. They're not winning money line, bro. They might cover for sure.
They're winning.
Georgia State.
You see the face?
At Georgia State, 6-2, bro. They're not a bad team.
I also watched Georgia Southern beat up on them.
Hey, that was last week. It's a different week.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I live 2 hours out from JMU, so I've been looking at them pretty well. I mean, they have a lot of real talent on that team. They just gave up their first 100-yard rushing game all season last week, and it took like 40+ rushes to do it. So I really don't see how they're going to move the ball on JMU. They have some of the best pass rush in the nation. The guy who has the most sacks in the nation, Jalen Green, has 15+ sacks on the season already. So it's like I wouldn't be surprised if Parlay has a parlay, and that's the bit, and then that's the dead leg that he gets because JMU comes in and puts in work.
Yeah. Put that evil on him.
Nah, that's a straight spot right there. I ain't putting them in the parlay.
Just because I said that now.
15 times tomorrow just because you said that.
That's hilarious. But yeah, JMU's not losing that game. JMU's going undefeated this year. I wouldn't be surprised. JMU's going undefeated this
year. Any NFL bets you got? Any NFL games you want to look at?
Yeah, that's what I was about to move into. One thing I'm looking at is that Ravens line. I'm kind of liking Ravens by touchdown versus Seattle. I know it's
I love the
crazy.
Ravens this week.
I know it's crazy, but the Ravens are rocking one of the best defenses in the NFL.
Mhm.
Seattle has to come to Baltimore, and we saw them go to Cincinnati and only put up 13 points and go 0 for 4 in the red zone
Yeah.
versus that defense. So when you're playing Baltimore, I don't see it. I really don't. I don't see how the Ravens will come out and win by a touchdown. I mean,
They play a lot better offensively than they did against the Cardinals, which I think you've seen them do that. Lamar's playing a lot better. But, man, this Seahawks team's a sneaky football team, man. They're like a sneaky good football team, and they just got they just got someone out of the trade.
Leonard Williams, yeah.
I mean, he's going to be a good piece. But, I think the Ravens are for real. I think the Ravens are a Super Bowl contender.
I think they're going to be the number one team in the AFC probably coming into out of the regular season most likely. I mean, they're just loaded, ready to play. Mike McDonald's a potential head coach candidate next year. They're loaded. Another line, look out for the Falcons being only -3.5 versus the Vikings with Jaron Hall starting at quarterback. That's kind of iffy. I mean, the fact that they're only laying 3 points, 3.5.
Oh, you got to think Tyler Touch My Heineke is going to have a lot better game than last week. I mean, look,
Natty Light Heineke, come on now.
Hey, look, trust me, I saw Jaron Hall in the Senior Bowl. He's a great guy, great kid, but I mean, he's just not an NFL quarterback.
No.
I'm surprised Joshua Dobbs, the brain scientist, hadn't gone in there. He's already going to start, so I'm surprised by it. But I like give me the Falcons. I think they have a bounce back game.
All right, Blaine, time for us to put the juju on Parlay. Parlay, what do we think about the Colts and the Panthers?
I don't know about this one.
Colts by 1 million.
I love it.
Look at his face.
This is a rat line. This is a rat tata, man. This is
Coming from a Colts fan, man. Come on now.
I don't like this line, man.
They
At
only
least they
laid
won
50
last
points?
week, so they ain't trying to win again this week, maybe. So
Okay, yeah, the Panthers, yeah.
well, we need to beat our former coach. I can't stand his ass. So he's gonna get fired anyway. Maybe they'll fire him after the game after we kill him. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know on that one, man. I really don't know. I might not bet any NFL unless I find a prop.
Hey, I'll say this: Commanders +3. We ride. Left hand up. Come on.
I actually love that. I
Commanders
love that.
+3. We ride, man. I ain't scared of New England.
Oh, I love it. Take a money line. Fuck the plus.
New England's favored -2, -2.5.
I don't get it.
Like, there's this misconception with the Commanders defense. I know we trade a lot at the trade deadline, but we have pieces on the D line that's ready to play.
Look, Sam Howell's going to be a fucking problem.
Thank you.
Sam Howell's going to look. Jahan Dotson, fucking problem.
He finally started playing. He started catching balls last week. Finally.
Can you just give us Terry?
No, you're not catching. No. He's been asking for
He
Terry
wants to
McLaurin
come
for 3
home.
weeks, Blaine. He's been asking for Terry McLaurin for 3 weeks.
I've been asking for Terry McLaurin for 3 years. Like, he wants to come home.
We just paid him. He's the captain of the team.
Fuck.
Let him come home.
He's literally the captain of the team.
He
Yeah.
needs to come home.
He's the team captain.
No.
Needs-
I'm McLaurin. If there's one place I'm not going, it's the fucking Colts.
Thank you.
What?
Thank you. You're going to lose.
74
to lose,
degrees
man.
every Sunday.
You're going to lose just to go lose more, man.
It's 74 degrees, and it's a what is it? Is it Pro Jam that Pink Floyd album cover is our stadium. So I mean, come on.
Yeah, I'm sure Terry McLaurin doesn't even fucking know who Pink Floyd is. Or I guarantee he fucking doesn't.
You know what he does know? 3 years, $75 million.
Yes, sir.
I said pay him for like every day for like 20 days
And
straight.
we did. And we gave him the money. Hey, you know what it is? He sees Darius Slay as lunch meat. That's why I love Terry McLaurin, man.
I love it. I love McLaurin, man. He's a great player, dude.
Top 10 receiver in the league.
He's so good.
We got money. I'm just saying.
You
Well,
act
we
like
got
we don't have more
money
cap space than you
For a
guys.
ball player.
We have $90 million in cap space
We
next
got
year.
Michael
Stop
Pittman Jr.
this.
We don't need his.
Sorry. This
We don't
happens
need
every
his
time.
ass.
Yeah, man. We have $90 million in cap space next year. You need to relax. We could re-sign Montez Sweat if we
We
want.
got
but
the
we need to
white
go get Brian
Mamba,
Burns.
bro, with Alec Pierce. Watch out.
We could get Montez Sweat to come back from Chicago if we really want, especially if we finish the year right. But we need to go get Brian Burns.
I don't think he's coming back after you send him to hell. I wouldn't come
Yeah, we
back.
should have sent him to Atlanta. We messed up on that one. We should have sent him to Atlanta. But we got a good pick out of it, man. He needs to take the L for the Brotherhood, man.
It's respectable. Respectable.
Especially if we give him the bag next year and we drop the Brinks truck, man. We need to give the one DN the Brinks truck. Him, Brian Burns, somebody.
They'll find somebody.
Yeah.
His name was Chase Young, fool.
Nah. I'm content with that trade. I can't even lie to you. I've sat down and thought about it. We gave up value on him for sure, but like at the end of the day, the person who's playing behind him actually knows the scheme, and we're gonna be all right.
I think it's a win-win. I think both teams won in this.
Yeah.
I took the Niners right after the win Super Bowl, so now I have 2 bets on the Niners.
Hopefully they win the NFC West, man.
We'll see.
It's the NFC.
What are you guys' thoughts on Cowboys Eagles? That's a great game.
I like the Cowboys.
You like the Cowboys? It's at 3 points. It's at 3 points right now.
I like
Is
the
it Cowboys?
Money
It's 3
line.
points. 3 points Eagles. 3 points because it's in Philly. It's in Philly.
Philly.
Yeah.
Give me the Eagles. I don't trust Dak Prescott. He'll fuck
I'm
it.
allowed to bet on this game, so I'm actually going to bet on.
I'm allowed to bet on this game.
I'm
It's not-
retired. I'm retired for 1:00 games.
I know. That's why I brought it up. Last week, Parlay officially retired from betting from the 1 o'clock
Too
game.
much. I might retire from weekly games too.
I just bet Tyreek Hill to score a touchdown every Sunday. That's what I do.
Well, what's the
Here's
odds?
the thing.
Like,
The real bet is to bet him over on his yards every week.
True. I mean, the odds are usually like minus 130, minus 140 anytime touchdown.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
But yeah, the NFL, there's not too many great spots. I mean, we already mentioned at the top of the show the Dolphins and the Chiefs. I mean, just to get back into it a little bit more detailed, you're getting Chiefs minus 1.5 in Germany. The one thing to watch is to see how the Chiefs try to limit Tyreek Hill. One thing I noticed is a lot of teams do not want their former player to beat them. I mean, I know that's just a fact, but at the same time, like, if you watch the other early game when it was the Falcons and the Jags earlier this year, Calvin Ridley was getting tore up by AJ Terrell. They did not let that man move.
Well, I feel like a lot of people want Tyreek Hill not to beat him.
Yeah.
Film room was like, all right, guys, we got to stop this thing running around on the field. But look, I think this game's more about the Chiefs' offense, if anything, right? Statistically, Patrick Mahomes is on his pace to have the worst year of his life in the NFL, which is crazy to me. And people like aren't talking about this enough, dog. Like the Dolphins just got Jalen Ramsey back, right? Like,
But they got the Hard Knocks coming.
and
so
Xavier
they don't get the
Howard,
curse.
one of the 2 best corners in the NFL. And the one thing the Dolphins have been struggling with is what? Their run game. And now you have those guys. You can do what? You can
Dedicate
put
people in
that
the box.
down in the box to help
Yeah.
out. So I like the Dolphins in this game.
I kind of like the Dolphins too, but I don't like the Dolphins. The second that film crew shows up from Hard Knocks, they're done. They're done. The curse is on them, and they're done.
I don't think that's wrong.
I mean, Tyreek's on a mission this year, already over 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably leaning the Dolphins right now just because that line's way too close. I feel like the Broncos, they play the Chiefs tight every year, but they also kind of lay the formula for how you're supposed to play them. And it's how you play any quarterback with that type of statue. Jalen Hurts is kind of the same way. If you can get home with 4 and kind of play coverage, like the Jets did it great for Jalen Hurts. If you're able to get home with 4 and play coverage on Mahomes, you're going to have a little bit easier spot, especially because you're not going to be in a disadvantaged position in terms of numbers on the field versus your secondary and versus your outfield players.
Good point.
You got any other NFL plays?
No, but I think it's time for me to get Kassa's Hockey Corner time. I think it's time for Kassa's Hockey
You
Corner.
bang on that, and then I got
so
basketball plays, and we can head out.
Yeah. So
All right,
Kassa's Hockey Corner for tonight.
5 minutes. Phil.
All right.
Oh yeah, we're clipping it up right here. Yeah. So we got Flyers tonight versus Sabres, and we got the Devils versus the Blues. 2 quick games, only games for tonight. I'm on Flyers minus. I'm on Sabres minus 1.5. Ericsson's in goal for the Flyers. Their goalie got hurt versus the Sabres 2 days ago. They're playing a back-to-back in Buffalo. Buffalo's top goaltender is in net. I'm leaning Sabres to win outright and spread, so take them plus money minus plus 136.
Listening. Please continue.
And then we're also going to be taking Devils money line versus the Blues. The Devils are one of the hottest teams in hockey with the number 1 player in hockey right now, Jack Hughes, with over 20 points this season. look for the Devils to win tonight versus the Blues. I mean, Bennington got lit up by Colorado on Tuesday when Parlay was telling me to take the Blues. So let's not do it. Let's not do it.
Look, I'm a big Flyers guy. I adopted the Flyers ever since they wouldn't sell Pride jerseys. I'm a huge Flyers fan.
The Flyers, honestly, and you know what? The top guy that they had in that situation, this might knock it down a bit. They traded the guy who was the number one guy in that situation.
Yeah,
They traded him away.
I know, but still, it lives with me. I was rooting for the Rangers, and now I root for the Flyers.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for Kawasaki Corner. What were the NBA plays that you had, Parlay?
So I got Jalen Brunson over 23.5, and staying with the Aaron Gordon over 12.5. I think he bounce backs and gets that.
I love it. This Wemby guy's a problem. Look, we talked about this pre-show. How is he not the proof that aliens are real? How is he not the proof? He's 7'5" and shooting step-back fadeaway threes. Get away from me.
Yeah, I know. It's disgusting. I turned it off.
He makes tall guys look small.
Trading DeJounte Murray makes 100% sense now.
Yeah,
they knew what they were doing.
They knew what they were doing. Long-term tank. They got Shohan that year to be his teammate. It was a 2-3 year tank. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, smart plays.
Well, that's it. That's the episode. Gritty Gamblers, and just like the intro, just like
I bet I could change the odds for every bookmaker in the country.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.